Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. The campaign is Spawn of Azathoth. It was written by Doc Herber, and our game master is John Hook. This is episode 4. Our recap will be given by Morgan Llewellyn as the character, Professor Frederick Long. So without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Morgan?
11 Dorrance Street, Providence, Rhode Island, May 5th, 1927. My dear Jennifer, sorry for not writing you sooner, but I thought it best to wait for things to settle down a bit first. I hope you received my telegram and are not surprised by my delay returning home. It seems that the unfortunate situation with poor Philip Baxter is far stranger than we had first thought. The portion of the will that concerned me is not clear-cut. I need to remain in Providence for some time until my associates and I can resolve this. Well, seems like I am stalling, but that is for good reason. It's not easy for me to admit that I've got caught up in what seemed at first a trivial matter of dreams. And you know best of all that I am a man of science. The world is a place of natural phenomena for which, with enough dedication, science can find suitable explanations. Yet here I am, investigating the meaning of dreams. Baxter has tasked me, along with Myron Dexter, a banker, a Brown University professor named Zebedee Cordova, Cornelius Cuthbert, who you will most certainly recall from social events we've attended over the years, and you'll be pleased to hear that he is in excellent health, and Herbert Bunns. Yes, that Herbert Bunns. For whatever reason, I can't help but run into the man. He's calling himself Dr. Zeno Saladin now. Can you believe that? An outlandish name and the audacity of the title of doctor. But I digress. Zebedee, Cornelius, and I went and visited Baxter's home, which now belongs to his housekeeper Angela, to search for more information about Baxter's dreaming and a sleep medicine his brother Julian had him taking. Also, we noticed some secretive behavior from a professor named Silas Patterson, who was looking through Baxter's office during a gathering at the house after the funeral. Of course, we engaged in some odd behavior ourselves after seeing him pay a visit to a funeral home, but that is a story best saved for when I can talk to you in person. Angela has been very hospitable and served us with incredible biscuits and jam. She is terribly lonely, though, and if you do decide to come to Providence, we'll have to stop in and pay her a visit. Zebedee and Cornelius found some interesting papers in the study, some research into cannibalistic practices throughout the world by the mysterious Silas himself, and a few letters from Baxter's children. I found some of Baxter's journals and reading materials. He was reading some rather bizarre poetry by an obscure author named Edward Pickman Derby. Perhaps your book club circles may know of him, since Arkham is known for its odd taste. Baxter's journals, on the other hand, have shed some interesting light on this whole affair. The night of his death, he mixed his own version of the sleep medication his brother was providing him. There was also the troubling matter of some unknown financiers of the Tuesday Night Academy's observatory in Montana. We are waiting to hear back from a Brown University chemistry professor on a bottle of the medicine obtained by Myron and Zeno from Julian. We also got a book from Julian titled The Book of Ibon that references some peculiar names that were mentioned in the Derby poems. What on earth could the word Azathoth mean? This little trip of mine has proved far from mundane. I look forward to your reply. Always yours, Freddie. P.S. If anyone from Miskatonic stops by the house, please pass on my most sincere apologies for my extended absence.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dr. Long. So when we last left, you guys were having a intense conversation in that office above the bank, and Dr. Zeno was kind of glancing out the window as y'all were having your animated conversation, and saw Alvin Beswick across the street at the funeral parlor, doing something, working with the hearse and stuff outside, and a cold chill went down Dr. Zeno's spine as he thinks he sees something or recognizes something horrific in Alan Beswick, at least a portion of something horrific. So it was getting pretty late on Thursday, May 5th. is it safe to assume that after the conversation and stuff that y'all were having in the bank, that you would have retired, maybe for a meal, maybe to sleep, and then reapproach things in the next day? Or is that a safe assumption or not?
I think it's reasonable.
Very reasonable.
I think we've set up most of the actions we can for the time being, and have much to discuss and go over.
So
I'd like to keep the elixir with me, but I will allow Zeno to take the book with him if he wishes.
Thank you.
So you guys have quite a few things that you've collected. There is the book. You have a sample of the elixir being analyzed by the chemistry department at Brown. A couple of you have reached out to close friends, in particular, the private investigator Bennings and also the reporter Lake, to do some kind of ancillary research. Does anyone have an agenda that they would like to pursue in earnest on Friday, May 6th, or would you guys like to use Friday, May 6th as a day of research? And we can pretty much move pretty quickly through Friday the 6th, and we can have some reading that's done, and you guys can analyze any of the things that you've collected from Thursday the 5th. And we can kind of fast forward through that and then begin actually doing follow-up on those clues in earnest on Saturday the 6th. But I'm curious on how y'all want to play this, because we could use Friday as a research day if you so desire.
It's what I'm going to be doing mostly, is reading this book of Ibon.
Okay.
And taking notes in a notebook. Yes, I do.
I would like to see if I could get Myron's help. I think Mr. Dexter might be able to assist in finding out if Colin's desire to get $5,000 from his father was indeed transferred, because there was that letter, Colin trying to secure $5,000. That's quite a bit of money for a boat and getting started with a mysterious friend in the world of deep sea salvage. So if we can find out if that money was transferred out, I don't know if that's possible. That might be. Do you think, Myron?
Well, certainly I have to go into the office for at least some part of the day. I generally don't schedule meetings for Fridays, but there's always, papers to sign and so on. I will have to, I don't know how to keep, I think properly speaking that even if Baxter banked with us, that would be confidential information. Although if we, had to press the point, I'm sure I could get a hold of the records. The other thing I was thinking, John, is that since Emmett stopped working for the judge, I'm going to ring Braddock, at least from my office, and have a short conversation with him about that.
I don't think I'll do this with an idea roll. It just occurs to you, though, because Braddock was also the executor of the will, that he may have been also a financial advisor for Philip. So that could also play into your other line of thought too. So that would just occur to you as a banker, I would think.
Practical fellow.
It's a givey.
And that, thanks. That reminds me, I meant to ask, so the house and a stipend went to the lovely Angela, and then 50% went to the Tuesday Night Academy and 50% to the kids. I don't remember what 50% of what his state was worth.
It wasn't detailed. I don't know if that's pertinent.
So it's substantial, but it's not enormous. It's probably
not Rockefeller.
Right.
Yeah,
Do you
it's not
think
Rockefeller money, but it's decent.
would it be enough for Colin to start that business now? Probably. Is there 30,000 in total?
Sure.
Or
Yeah,
more?
easily.
All right. So it's not a trivial sum at all. It's substantial.
And
All right.
it's substantial enough that Emmett, not just Colin, but Emmett's pretty pissed that half of it's going to
Right.
those quacks at the Tuesday night academy.
Yes. Emmett's for the good child, his temperament is wanting. So I think that bank business and legal business is all the agenda that I am aware of right now.
Okay. Anybody else?
Well, as a astronomer, I would like to try to get in contact with the observatory in Montana, or at least find some record of getting in contact.
Okay.
Oh, and speaking of which, Cornelius, does the Tuesday Club keep some sort of records that you could investigate?
I believe, yeah, they are meeting minutes and some rudimentary records. I'm not sure if I'd be able to access the more. I'm just a more of an entry level member, but I'm sure they'd keep records of something, especially as large as the Montana Observatory. Silas would certainly know because he's been in much longer, but I'm not sure if he'd be approachable, especially from me.
Okay, so I think what we'll do then, so it sounds like there's enough that folks want to follow up on in earnest on Friday the 6th. So we'll open up on Friday the 6th, but we're going to open up in the late afternoon after Dr. Zeno. Dr. Zeno, I need you to first give me a con roll, please.
95.
Okay. So any of your skills, because of just sleep deprivation and stuff, you stayed up all night and you've been poring over this book, and so you're going to be kind of lethargic and sleepy during this day. So you're going to have penalty dice on both physical and mental skills on this day. But after going through the Book of Ibon,
It's quite astonishing. I never considered such things.
let me get to my section here.
Theo, bring me some coffee. Thank you.
Turkish, I assume.
That's good. Grimalka, not now.
Okay. So Dr. Zeno, after having an initial quick read of it, you can gain 3 Cthulhu Mythos points.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that this is a pretty hefty book as far as the density of material that's within it. And so it would take quite some time to do a thorough read of this. But it's possible that you could do small chunks and gain some extra information in small chunks. But what is it that you were hoping to ascertain from this?
Anything.
Anything?
I assumed that it would tell me things about the dreamlands in the process, since it's associated with
right.
dream stuff.
Yep. So you do see you do find a section as you were skimming through this that and again it's not organized like a proper book
Right.
would be. It runs on, and certain subjects bleed into other subjects. But you did kind of zero in on a section that does have to do with dream, because it is written in English, and so you do find the word finally. The word itself, dream, kind of jumps out at you, and actually scrawled in the margins. Not even part of the proper book itself. So somebody at some other point writing in the margins put together a formula. It looks like it's like a chemistry formula.
I'll write it down into my notebook.
Okay, so you'll be able to translate that, and it looks like it's something called a dream brew.
Dream brew. Do I gain anything on my dream lore?
Your +3 Cthulhu Mythos. I will let you divvy that how you'd like, those 3 points. So you can put all of it into dream lore, or you can divide it how you'd like, but it's still just 3 points.
All right. I'm going to put it into dream lore.
Okay. You can put all of it into dream lore. That's fine. And go ahead and hold on. Let me check something here.
There's probably a sanity cost for reading it.
Only after the full depth read, so not during a skim. So you're a-okay for now. But when you do finally do a deep dive in that, it will shatter you. No, it will shake you.
Never mind the coffee. I think I'll probably go to bed. Get some sleep.
So you are. Where is the? Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find the name of this. Here we go. Okay. So make a sand roll.
I missed it by 2 points.
Are you going to leave it as a miss?
Yeah, why not? I can't get much crazier than I already am.
So you're going to leave it as a miss?
I'll miss it, yeah.
Okay. So you have the formula that you've copied down, but you don't understand it enough yet to actually create it. So you have the basic fundamentals of it, but it doesn't make any sense to you yet.
Right.
But once you study better and pass a sand roll, you will gain the brew dream drug spell.
Do I lose any sanity points?
No, that was just to see if you understood the spell.
All right, yeah, I'm not a chemist.
Yeah. Okay, so you spent almost all night. You were reading up through the night and into the morning, and so the sun is now up, and you're lethargic. You'll have a penalty die on skills for this day.
This is Friday, yes.
This is Friday the 6th.
I'll probably take an afternoon nap.
Okay.
Because I don't have anything else to do today, and my eyes have gotten very tired from reading. So,
well, if anybody comes to grab you so that you can be a part of a scene, you'll have penalty dice.
Right, of course.
All right. Because I want to make sure that everyone gets seen today. So Nice. All right. All right. So I know what Myron and Cornelius are going to be following up on. What is Dr. Long thinking about doing today? Oh, that was going to be the you're going to try and
To the
play some calls
observatory.
about the observatory and Zebedee.
Zebedee will most likely just go do bits at work and then assist anyone who needs it. So I'll be there to assist Cornelius or Frederick or whoever.
Okay. And then so I'm going to start with Dr. Long. As you are placing phone calls, you actually receive a phone call from your private investigator friend, Bennings. And so he calls you up. Long.
Oh, Bennings, what have you found?
Hey, yeah. So there's not a lot out there. Much like you had already indicated, Silas Patterson was a professor at Brown anthropology. He's a published author of anthropology. And as far as I can tell, he was let go for health reasons recently. I was able to figure out that he's got his flat here in Providence, but he also has he's rented a small farming property north of town. But early this morning, he left his house, jumped in his car, and he was heading south. He left town and went south. And I lost sight of him after that. So it looked like he had packed a small bag and went south.
Okay.
So if that's it, I'll we'll just consider that one a favor, and I'll get back to you later.
All right. Hey, thanks, Bennings.
All right. Simultaneously to Long getting the call from Bennings, Professor Zebedee, Professor Cordova, you receive a telegram from your reporter friend, Lake. And in that telegram, Lake summarizes that research into Alvin Beswick is thin. That Alvin was not a rich man, came from poverty. There's just not a whole lot on him. The only thing of note is I think it was like a couple of years ago. No, it wasn't that long ago. The only thing of note is that last year, 1 year ago, a family of a young girl, their daughter, unfortunately, had passed away. And the family has a civil suit against Beswick that was it was settled out of court, but the family had originally, in their grief, they had originally planned a cremation for their daughter. But apparently they thought better of it and tried to quickly reach out to Beswick to change their plans and to flip it from cremation to having an actual service with with the casket and everything, and a viewing and the whole 9 yards. The poor girl had a medical condition, and it was very sad. But Beswick said that apparently he cremated her early. Normally they do it on, they have a certain schedule for when they do cremations, and I guess he went off schedule, cremated her early, and so they ended up having to have the cremation type of ceremony that they had initially requested instead of being able to change their mind. So the family was pretty upset by that. But really, that's the only thing that came up on Beswick. He's a blank slate, and there wasn't much to find. That came across very conversational, but that was all. You get the gist out of the telegram that was written to you.
That is very from that, I am going to go find whoever's closest to me, and I don't know where Fred Long is, and I don't know where Cuthbert is, but I will go find either of them. To maybe Cuthbert. I'll try locate Cuthbert. I don't know where he is right now.
Well,
Cuthbert. Just go into the library. Cuthbert.
Heathcliff. I was planning on, as speaking with Myron earlier, Myron, you'd mentioned checking into some of the records at the Tuesday Night Academy. I could maybe go over and do such, search through those to see what might be there. Did you have anything in mind beyond the observatory and expenditures?
That's the main thing. Although it seems like we might look for more background on this Dimitri fellow.
That would be, yeah. He definitely was a member, so I'll see what I can dig up there.
And since his standing seemed to change a bit after that unpleasantness, I don't know if there's anything worth following up.
Actually,
might be good to have a list of the current membership too, just in general.
Yeah, that's a very, very good idea. I'll see. I'll dig up Dr. Lung, because he's making some phone calls. That shouldn't take too long, since he's a member in good standing. I think between the two of us, we'd have good reason to be there and look around a bit.
Yeah, I'd also be curious just what the protocol is for replacing Baxter. Right? I mean, he's the founder, and so it's never been done before. Who knows if there is a written procedure for that or how that's going to work. But it'd be nice to know who's going to get to spend this money.
Exactly. Would we as members, would Dr. Long or myself know who how that process works, or is that just sort of out of our hands? We're too low in the totem pole.
Yeah, there'll be a new officers meeting to elect officers. So you guys will get a vote, but there are other officers or other members who have held other officer roles like treasurer and that kind of thing, sergeant of arms, and so it seems likely that one of those gentlemen will step forward to offer his services as president of the club, and so members will have an opportunity to vote soon, but it's too soon for something like that right now. So there'll just be a void, and Baxter will stay president in memoriam for now.
And also, from being a member for about a year. Would I know if there would be any good information on members there that would be readily accessible, or at least would I know of its existence somewhere, or is that just like blindly searching there? I won't go to the club if it's like I have no clue of its existence, but if I think it might be there, some information along those lines, I would.
On the
I would
observatory?
Try.
Yeah,
Between the observatory and information on members, such as Dimitri.
Right. Yeah, you think that there is an office or like a meeting room that the Tuesday Night Academy uses on Brown University campus, and there are there's like a filing cabinet, a lockable filing cabinet that gets used there, and so there could be some records held there, and usually, um, one of the more senior members, of which Patterson is one of those more senior members. He either would have the records there, or he may do with them as he likes. But yeah,
okay.
So
Well, I'll go and take a look. Why not? Heck, while we're all gathering information that we can.
okay. So Cornelius, you're going to go and check out the Tuesday Night Academy office on Brown. Is that what I heard?
Yes. If Dr. Long's available, great. If not, I'll go by myself. Poke my head in real quick, see if he's done with his calls.
And I'm still shouting for Cuthbert just down the halls. Cuthbert.
Oh, Professor Cadortha. Oh, is that you?
I finally found you. Jesus Christ, that took a while.
Yeah, I was just looking for Dr. Long. What's going on?
Oh, he's making some calls in that direction. Instead, wherever he is right now. But no, I have some information. My friend Lake, journalist, you know Lake. He sent me a telegram, and because I told him to do some information into our Bestwick, and he got back to me with some peculiar information. So about a year ago, there was a family of a young girl, and this young girl passed away. And this family took out a civil suit against Mr. Bestwick because they had planned a cremation, but they wanted to get it changed. And obviously cremations are usually on a schedule. It would be scheduled beforehand. But the reason for the civil suit is she was cremated early, so they never saw the dead body of their child.
So there was no way to identify.
No, they never saw the dead body. It got cremated early, which is rather peculiar.
Terrible. Yeah, any records on the coroner or the doctor? I mean, the body needs to be identified. This is I understand the nature of
the body's gone. It's been cremated. It's gone.
Yeah,
it's long gone. Well, if he did cremate the body, that is, because obviously we have a few misconceptions with him and the body of our dear friend, and that's why we went there in the first place. But Mr. Baxter's body, so maybe there's some correlation. Maybe there's something going on with the dead and Mr. Bestwick.
Interesting. Wow. Yeah, we should let everyone know before we scatter to the wind and have Friday slip by us.
Well, my plan is, if I know you're okay and you'll go check on Long, I might go see if Zeno is okay. I know he went home. I don't know what.
Oh yeah, with that book. Yeah, he seemed very interested in that.
I'll go check on him if he is asleep or whatever. I will come back.
And Zeno, give me a sand roll, please.
98.
Lose 1 point as you are unable to get any rest, any sleep, as your mind keeps replaying the scene from when you were in that office looking out the window and you saw Beswick kind of moving around, almost a little bit of a hop of his movement outside there with his hearse, and there's just something about him that sends a chill down your spine to the point where you're not able to sleep. Your mind is continually returning to that guy and the unanswered questions of what is going on with him. You've become fixated on Alan Beswick.
In the past years since the original incident, have I done any research that would have given me, I guess the answer is yes to that, at least in part. I need to confirm. I guess that's it. For myself, I need to confirm that it's what I think that it is. And so maybe I'll pay a visit to Mr. Beswick just to see if I am not losing my mind. Because I'm always afraid that at some point I might actually go crazy. So far, I'm perfectly normal.
Sure, no one saw that coming.
So I can't sleep. I have to go confirm it. I might drive over or have Theo drive me over. And
I think in the time that you awaken from your nightmare as you were trying to rest, you probably receive a phone call.
Oh, okay. Phone rings. Yes.
From Professor Cordova.
Zebedee, can you hear me? I can't hear you. I think your phone is muted.
I appear to be muted. There seems to be a fault in the line. Anyway, Zeno, no, I just rang to see if you're okay or if you need anything. I am a little bit of a free agent at the minute.
Well, I don't really need anything unless you're free right now and interested in a little jaunt.
A jaunt where?
I saw something this afternoon. You probably noticed when we were at the bank that I seemed suddenly distressed. There's a fellow that works at the funeral place across the street. Were you?
Yes.
Were you there? You saw this, Mr. Beswick?
Yes, I have seen. Well, if you're interested in Mr. Beswick, I have some information that might enlighten you.
Oh, what information?
Well, we can meet. I will come to yours or we can meet at somewhere.
Well, would you mind picking me up?
Oh, yes, I will. That's fine.
Yes, I'll tell you about something that happened to me, but I'll do it in the car as we're driving.
Yes, I'll be there shortly, and then we can exchange information.
All right, very good. Thank you. Theo, I need some coffee now.
And then I want to solidify what Cornelius is doing. Cornelius, are you getting a research partner?
Yeah, I'd like to swing by, see if Dr. Long's available to go to the Tuesday Night Academy's main office and just sort of look around. I'd like his company because he's a member, and we could both benefit from our knowledge of being there, of where to look, and such things.
Well, I'm happy to take a break from this.
Oh, thank you. If you're done with the calls, yes, certainly. I don't want to intrude, but yes. All right, perfect.
Well, I haven't tried placing a long distance call to to Montana.
We should. I'm very interested in seeing that site. So much funding went for it, especially from some anonymous investors too. I'm kind of curious as to why that occurred. But
yeah, it's very
maybe we
interesting
can find out.
Yeah, the records.
Shall we? Yeah, let's head on down, see if we can dig something up. Also on Dimitri, maybe.
All right. And so I want to start then. So we've got Cornelius and Long going to go and check out the Tuesday Night Academy office on the Brown University campus. So let's start with Mr. Dexter. Mr. Dexter, what are you doing today for follow-up?
I'm going to have Mrs. Wilson call Braddock's secretary and set up at least 15 or 20 minutes for a phone call. I'm also going to ask records whether we have ever carried an account for an Edward O'Donnell and what its current status is.
Okay.
That's Emmett's former business partner who's crossed off his business cards. I'd like to know if he's got an active account by any chance.
There is no active account. There is a closed account.
Is it marked as to reason? Like deceased?
So, hold on just for a second. Yes. There is a annotation of deceased on the O'Donnell account.
And what's the date on that? Roughly?
24, April of 24. So 3 years ago.
That's a bit ago. Interesting. All right. Well, that clears up part of a matter. What's the word from Braddock's office about his availability?
Give me a credit rating roll, please.
This is mine to fail. Zeno, I join you. 96. A banker who can't get a phone call through.
Yeah, so you reach out for an appointment and Braddock is not available today. According to the information that you've received, which would have come through Braddock's secretary, out of the office today.
Yeah, probably fishing. I think that's my entire agenda at the moment, was that inquiry and that phone call. I might, in the afternoon, go to a downtown bookstore and see if they, no, I'm going to send somebody out to buy whatever copies of Weird Tales they can find, just to follow up on this Derby fellow.
Okay. All right. So you send someone off. All right. To do some shopping for you. Very good. Okay. So let's go to Cornelius and Long as they arrive onto the Brown University campus. And there's the office. And it's like a side meeting room. So it can be used by a variety of different groups, but there is one 6 foot tall 4-drawer filing cabinet labeled Tuesday Night Academy, and it's a lockable cabinet so that others who are using this office for whatever they want it for can't just go rifling through it.
And that's the only. Is anyone there from?
No one is.
Or,
Yeah, no one's in it today right now.
oh, okay. Oh, and they're not going to really keep anything that important here. I was hoping they'd have more of a privately owned space.
Yeah, they use this public space because it's free, but you do know that of late the secretary who would kind of be keeping a lot of this information or managing information was recently Silas Patterson.
Yeah, that's the only place, and I'll of course go and check to see if it's locked. I'm sure it's locked. Yeah.
You don't happen to know how to pick locks, do you?
Oh, well, I have I might be able to give it a go, a little bit, maybe. Here, take a look at the door there. Just kind of curious. I'll put it right back, of course. Oh, wow. Oh, this is so close. I might spend luck. Oh, gosh, this isn't pulp, though. Luck. Oh, God. 9 points away from making a 1. Oh, this is so tempting, but that's a lot of luck. No, not going to do it. They're not going to keep anything important here.
For a moment, when you started to make the roll, I thought you actually had points on locks.
Oh, no.
Oh, hear you.
No. Darn it. Any ideas?
I don't think you're supposed to hold the pin that way, but I'm not sure myself.
Would you like to give it a go?
No. Actually, I would not.
All right. Yeah. You don't know any.
Let's push this roll. Both of us have a 1% chance.
Oh yeah. All right. Okay. This was, yeah. If this is all that's here, this is not going to cough anything up. I think it might be better just to simply go out to Montana and see what that site's about. But we need to check in with our others. It's very interesting. They found all the new heavenly bodies. Have you read anything about that, Dr. Long?
Well, it theoretically exists. We just haven't spotted it yet.
And that's what they were building that observatory for to have.
Well, I mean, that would be my immediate guess. Is this the ninth planet would be what they're after, but it was vague enough that there could be any other celestial body that they could have been looking for. But that's just the ninth planet comes to mind.
What makes me question it is that there are other observatories that could be tasked with looking in that direction. I'm curious as to why they needed to build their own observatory for this.
Well, that's why I'm trying to find out as much about this observatory as I can. I'm curious what they've been up to all these years.
Yeah. So I'll just quickly look. Is there there's not like a key taped to underneath the filing cabinet by any chance, is there?
Negative.
All right. Never mind. I'll give it up.
You may each give me an idea roll.
Boom. Peg that. Hard.
24 is also a hard success for me.
Oh, I got a 23. Hey.
So, based on the fact that you already know, because you discovered some Tuesday Night Academy meeting minutes that Baxter kept in his home, that if Patterson has been in the recent secretary for the club, it's possible that there may be records in his possession at his home,
which he left this morning. But I don't think I'm a criminal, so
Yes.
I'm not sure I'm prepared to
Yeah.
cross that barrier yet in the name
Oh.
of investigation. But
Oh, same here. Yeah, and we pretty thoroughly looked through Philip's study.
but
Yeah.
I think I know somebody who I don't know might be a little more up for a. Sorry.
Sorry.
Huh.
Okay.
Hmm.
Let's try other endeavors.
While you guys consider that, we're going to move the camera as Professor Zebedee picks up Dr. Zeno from his home.
Must understand that there are things that we don't understand. It's a rather silly thing to say. Have you ever seen photographs of Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris?
Yes, I have.
There are gargoyles, many different varieties, but some of them are strange, hunched over, mongrel-faced monsters looking down on the city. Many years ago, I saw one. I saw it in a cemetery. It wasn't a shadow. It wasn't trying to hide itself. I think it might have been reading a book. In any case, there it was, and I saw it, and it looked at me, and it sort of waved, and I ran for my life. I since then I've not been able to go into any kind of cemetery for fear that these things live there and that I'll see them again. I don't know what it was, some sort of a ghoul, some sort of a monster, not unheard of in these parts. There's legends and so forth, but I'm telling you, in that moment that I looked out the window yesterday, that man he looked like that. He was not moving right. He was not standing right. There was something completely alien about him. And he's running a funeral home.
Well,
the legends say that they eat the dead, if we go by the New England legends of ghouls.
Well, I understand now why you wouldn't go into cemeteries, but I'm a little bit more open-minded, and as you know, I come to you, so I can be willing to accept that there might be some other beings, but
I'm a man given to many fancies and wild speculations. We should go there. I should see him for sure.
well, I kind of want to as well, which kind of, well, this might find it interesting. As you know, no one actually really saw Baxter's body. We're unsure about if he's buried or not, but forget about that for a second. So I found out from an acquaintance of mine, Lake. You probably know him, and your brother probably knows him as well. But so a little girl's family was setting up a funeral for this girl, and she was going to get cremated. And they had it all scheduled and everything, but they wanted to change it. So
that she would be buried normally.
Yes, but he had cremated her early, and they hadn't even seen the body. He had cremated her early, and that makes me wonder, did he really cremate the body? After your tales, I'm a little bit a gaslight. I don't really believe that ghouls could exist, but I can be open, especially because it's you, Zeno, and you've opened my mind to a lot of things over the years.
I have thought for years and years how I could have been mistaken. There is no way I couldn't. I know what I saw, in plain as I'm looking at you right now. No more distant than that tree over there.
And he was reading a book, did you say?
I think so. I was so terrified at the moment. I just ran. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. A sort of dog-like, I would say, but mostly like those gargoyles, like that Notre Dame. The carvers knew something when they carved those mongrel monsters looking down on the city of Paris. I just need to see for myself.
Well, you have intrigued me because, let's just say, these ghouls exist. Like I'm being over my, and let's say that Alvin, you saw him as one of these things. What if he is eating the corpses? As you said yourself in some legends, they eat corpses.
What? I don't know.
But to settle your mind, we should go. You might have been seeing, you might have had a bit too much intake. You might have taken in too much intake.
We might also consider that you can't just walk up to somebody and accuse them of something.
Oh, we're not going
like
to
a fool if we walk up and he's just some poor old boob that doesn't know how to stop the button on a cremation machine. I don't know.
Yes, but this was early. He cremated her like a couple of days early or whatever. I'm unsure. Like, I'm sure put in the details of.
I can think of scenarios wherein this might just be completely normal. The child is scheduled to be cremated, and he's got some free time, so he just does it beforehand.
True, very true. It could be. And that's the problem. We're not, to be fair, we're not going to go up to him and go, "Are you a ghoul? Are you a gargoyle thing, sir?" We're not going to do that because, one, that's unprofessional, and two, if he is actually one of these things, he could murder us both. But that's just speculation.
Why? What pretense will we have for seeing him?
Well, I was hoping you would have an idea. That's why because I couldn't really just turn up because I would end up saying something stupid.
Has he seen you before?
Yes, with Cuthbert and Long, yes.
He hasn't seen me before.
I could wait outside, but then if something goes awry and inside, I might not be able to. I doubt anything will, because he's probably just an ordinary man and nothing's peculiar at all, so it's probably all just just a misunderstanding. And then we can all go and have something to drink at the local whatever. A coffee.
Perhaps we can. I have to find out for myself. You can wait in the car. I'll go inside. I'll pretend to be looking for a coffin. I'll make some ridiculous demands. And then...
Yes. How well...
I just want to see him close up. I want to smell him.
If you are in danger, how you need to contact me somehow.
Well, I'll tell him that.
Watch for the building to turn on fire.
I'll tell him that my friends are waiting for me, and that they know where I am. That they're at the bank, and I just thought I'd drop in.
Yes. And I'll just keep an eye, and then if I feel like you've been gone too long, I will.
And I'll take my cane.
Yes, that will help you.
I shall bonk him if he.
Maybe you could give him a reading.
I don't want him to know. Jesus. Perhaps this is insane, but I would like you to be there. I'll only be a few minutes.
Yes, I'll wait outside. I'll wait outside, and if you've been gone longer than, let's say, 10, 15 minutes, I will come in after you.
All right.
Or come to check on you.
I don't think it'll take me that long to figure it out.
We will see. It's again, like you said, the cremation, they settled it out of court. That's all been done now. It's probably just a misunderstanding, a mistake. People make mistakes. We're only human.
Well done. Let's go.
Yes.
Okay. I'll stick with this for right now, unless does Myron or Cornelius and Long have another investigative push that they want to pursue?
No, I'm just trying to make sense of the poetry of this Derby fellow.
Okay.
Seems like a lot of nonsense. And of course, it's most likely that this is the magazine he saw his student reading in class, and he took it. And since he was already unstable and taking his brother's sleeping draft, this is how his mania began. He began to put these words and notions into his dream life. So basically, we've got it all resolved, except, of course, for the fact that he appeared in protoplasmic form and was murdered at the foot of my bed 2 days after he died. Just that one little gap.
Yep. Nothing from Cornelius Long? Are you guys gonna you're gonna re-examine the clues from Angela's house?
Yeah, that seems the best thing. I would like to head out to the observatory to get more of an on-hand look at what they're doing, but we need
Well,
to.
that's what I would like to. I'm planning to arrange such a trip, and I have plenty of reason to.
Yeah. Okay.
My
so you guys can start.
Easy.
You guys can start doing the planning on what it would take, the train tickets and whatnot to start heading out there.
And also trying to resist the crippling urge to go break into Silas's house. I know he isn't there.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys ponder that then. So we'll bring the camera back to Dr. Zeno and Professor Zebedee as their vehicle pulls up in front of the funeral home.
All right. I'll get out and I'll take a deep breath and walk inside.
While he goes in, I will be keeping an eye on the street, like the path, and just seeing if I notice anyone that we've seen before coming past, or maybe, just anything like that. I'll be looking for anything not out of the ordinary, just something that would pique my interest.
All right. Dr. Zeno, you go in through the front door. Give me a listen roll, please.
82. I think right now all I can hear in my ears is the blood rushing through my head.
Right. And the bell tinkles as you open the door, and you're in this front area that's got some
Coffins.
Okay, I guess I'm not going to sneeze. You go in, and there's coffins, and so there's a variety of different models, and there's little placards and stuff that talk about some of them and whatnot. There's a short hallway that's got a few doors, and then you can tell at the end of that hallway it kind of opens up to a slightly larger area back there, probably similar in size to the area that you're in now. And in the far distance, you hear a voice saying, "Make yourself at home. Be right there."
Thank you. And I'm going to look around. I'm not very comfortable with all these coffins. It's kind of like being at a graveyard.
In just a couple of moments after that, here comes this gentleman striding in. He's all dressed all in black. He's walking, but there's a little bit of a hitch to his gait, almost like he's kind of walking with just a little bit of a skip or something in it. You see him, and it shakes you. You feel like, you can just see, like it's just under the surface. You can see the hints of some of the monstrosity forming.
Something about the eyes, something about the teeth.
Something about the eyes, the teeth, the jawline, his ears are slightly more upswept. It just there's something about it. And there's a little bit of a smell with him, maybe it's because he's a mortician, but there is like a smell of death on him. You can give me a spot hidden roll.
Finally, a 17.
You do see it's quite small, but you do see a couple of red stains on his lapel.
Okay. Good. It's afternoon or morning?
Afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm not sure you'd be able to help me. My name is Hassan Azaz, and I'm not sure if you can accommodate what I need.
What can that be?
Are you familiar with Arabic death preparation practices?
No, that's not something I've had to prepare, but I can learn and read up and be prepared. What are your needs? I'm sorry for your loss. Who has passed?
It's an aunt. Perhaps I'll find somewhere else that is run. You're not Muslim, no?
No, but please allow me the opportunity to service you and your family's needs. And he does reach out, because it seemed like maybe you were turning to exit the room. He does reach out, and not forcibly, but as politely as possible, kind of gently puts a hand on your arm, and you do notice that his nails are a little longer, a little darker.
That's quite all right. Do you have a card?
And he says, he pats his pockets. He says, I do. Just one sec. I'll be right back.
All right.
And so he turns and he goes, please just wait for me a moment. I will be right back. And he turns and heads back down the hallway that he came up. And as he's heading down the hallway, you can hear a little bit of a kind of come out of him, involuntarily. And you seem to remember that hyena type of laugh from your previous encounter with such creatures. Give me a sand roll because of that.
Okay. And as soon as that's a fail.
Okay. Roll a D3.
Not 3.
Okay. Yeah. In fact, you, there's a chill down your spine from that little bit of an involuntary kind of slippage of his.
Well, as soon as that happens, then I turn and exit.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to wait for the card. So
all right.
I just turn and exit.
Ching,
and
ching, ching.
I immediately turn and I go straight towards the car. And
What is wrong? Did he do something to you?
Get us away from here. Drive.
All right. Zebedee, make a spot hidden.
Oh my god. 99.
Awesome. That's fine.
He's busy looking at me.
Yeah.
Just drive.
What did you find out?
I'm sure. I'm sure it's not human. Maybe it was once human, but it's not human.
Well, if he's not human, then he shouldn't be working in a funeral parlor. He should not be working with
He has
the
to
dead.
make a living somehow. No, I'm just like, oh my god. It's not a funeral home. It's a delicatessen for ghouls.
Wait, and what was his name? Oh my god, that guy, that Silas. Yes, that's his name. His name just popped into my head again after I just lost it. He was researching like eating bodies and stuff like
that. I have to do research then. I have to look. I have to see what I can
find. I am driving, by the way. I didn't just...
Right. No. I got that. Yeah. You pulled away. Away. You didn't notice it, but at the camera that was kind of bird's eye above the car, right? So Zeno gets in, and you guys kind of pull away, and so then the camera kind of it's on a crane. It starts to come down. It's watching the car pull away, and then the camera turns and looks at the front store window of the funeral parlor, and standing in the window watching your car pull away is Alan Beswick, and he has a hard look on his face, and then the camera fades to black.
I told him my name was Hassan Alaz.
Okay, at least you didn't give him your real name. Okay, well, what? So if he is your thing that you said, a ghoul, did you say? You're calling them ghouls, right?
Ghoul, gargoyle, whatever. Yes.
Oh God, this means that. Did he eat that? I know she was dead, but did he eat that little girl? Did he do?
I would like you to take me home.
Yes,
please.
I will. Yes. Do you mind if I share this with Cuthbert? I won't share it with Long or Dex.
I don't care. Long will just think I'm insane.
But I will tell Cuthbert first, and then we will decide where to go from there. This is. Maybe me and Cuthbert will make our own visit back there.
I am profoundly affected by this. For years, I have wondered if I wasn't hallucinating, and now there it is.
Yes.
Okay.
You'll be fine, Zeno. Do not worry.
So I'm going to go home, and I'm going to climb into bed and pull the covers up.
Okay. Camera fades to black with you guys. Myron Dexter, make an idea roll, please.
$19 is a hard success, almost an extreme.
So thinking about O'Donnell, kind of your mind falling back on O'Donnell, it stands to reason then, if he is deceased, as bank records are annotated, that there could be newspaper articles, or possibly, depending upon unknowingly, depending upon what the circumstances are around his death, there could be official authority records of some sort. But it seems reasonable that you should be able to do some kind of research to find out more about this O'Donnell character.
Yeah, especially since he likely is similar to Emmett in age. So however he passed would be somewhat noteworthy. I'll ask Mrs. Wilson to give me a number for the clippings room at the newspaper.
Okay. All right. So she does a little bit of research, and she calls back and says, yeah, the newspaper clipping service, they have exclusively contracted with Mr. Baxter, Emmett Baxter.
All right, that's his new trade, or that's what he's pressing. That's very funny. I guess I still have his card. It was to me he gave it. Oh, what am I going to say to the lad? That's a sticky wicket he's got me on right there. I'd like you to send me all the records on your partner you murdered. Is not probably a socially effective approach. All right. So I'm going to phone him and ask if he has any clippings about our mysterious Russian friend. Go around sideways a little bit.
Okay.
Yes, one Dmitry Rostolov, is it? Rosolov. Posolov. My handwriting.
Yeah, Dmitry Pasilov. Yeah. Okay, so you want to contact Emmett and inquire about clippings for that?
Yeah, glad him a little bit and say, it was enterprising of you to send me or to hand me your card at your father's wake. And I am curious about something.
Yeah, sure. What's going on? How can I help you?
Well, there's this Russian immigrant, Dmitry Paslov is his name, and he sort of breezed into town. And this Tuesday night organization that your father
familiar
founded. Yeah, I know. I'm curious about what public records we have on this Paslov fellow, what his background is, if he's shown up in the newspaper, if he's got any known associates, that sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah, I could do some research on that. It'll probably be a couple of days to get that put together and back to you.
I understand you're running the business on your own now, are you?
Yes. Yeah. It's I've got a lot of runners and a lot of junior men who do a lot of the clipping and collections for me, but managing all this data is a full-time job for sure.
Yeah. You used to have a partner, didn't you?
You can make a psychology roll. As the line pauses, and he says, "Yes."
37 is a success, a regular.
Okay. Be sure to tick those skills when you're successful.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Yes."
Did you guys have a falling out, or?
No, nothing quite so dramatic as a interpersonal conflict. It was a tragedy, really. It was poor Mr. O'Donnell passed away.
Is he a young man like yourself?
No, he was senior. This was a business that he was in and brought me in as a partner, but you don't want to hear all that. That doesn't mean anything to you.
No,
But,
it was an illness or accident?
It, you know, it was a tragic accident. I don't recall the exact circumstances around it, but yeah.
I'm sorry to pry. I don't mean to be rude. Um, did he bring you in because your background in law?
How do you know I have a background in law?
You know, I was chatting with Braddock the other day.
Oh, right. Right. Yeah. Listen, things are pretty busy around here. Let me let me work on this request for you. Pazilov. Sure.
Yeah. First name Dimitri. Monday will be fine. And this is my number. This is Mrs. Wilson's number at the bank. She can handle any inquiries you have. And if you just want to have a delivery fella drop, some photostats off, that'd be fine.
Certainly.
Thanks very much. I'm sorry again for your loss, and I'm glad you're, bootstrapping yourself into success.
Sure you are. Click.
Touchy.
Cornelius, Dr. Long. So you guys have come up dry. Couldn't get into the filing cabinet, and Patterson. He's not at home. Yeah. So what do you guys do?
Well, yeah, certainly not a hoodlum. I'm not going to just break into any person's home. I mean, maybe a filing cabinet to see what's inside. That might be hidden. That helps our investigation. But a home goes too far. That's the providence of the police or investigators, not us. Dr. Long, thoughts, feelings?
Oh yeah, no, I'm right with you. To stoop to such a level, when it's just so open and vulnerable and probably has clues.
That lamb's throat is fully extended and exposed right now. So are you guys gonna just be there and available when Zebedee shows up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Guess what? Zebedee shows up.
Zeb.
Well, Cuthbert.
We still have one of the biscuits left over from Angela's the other day.
Oh, yes.
You want to split it?
Yes, definitely. We need it. And get some tea and coffee in, and we sit around a table. Have I got a tale to tell?
Well, I know a great place with some excellent biscuits, tea, and coffee if we want to go there.
No, because she'll want us to stay for tea, and I do not want to. Right, because she will just pinch my face. Yeah. Anyway, let's just assume we've gone and got coffee or whatever. We're sat around a table. I've decided I'm going to tell Long anyway now. So, Cuthbert, Long. So I went to Zeno and I filled him in. Actually, Long, you don't know. I filled Long in about the girl. And
oh.
But anyway, so I went with Zeno. He had a traumatic experience a long time ago. But I won't get into it. It is up to him to tell you to himself. And honestly, Long, you don't believe in his tarot stuff anyway. You probably won't believe it. So, we drive to Bestwick's, and I wait outside. Zeno goes in, and he comes back out, and he confirms that the thing that he saw so many years ago, Bestwick is one of these creatures. Should I say, ghoul?
You could also probably say goblin, fairy, gnome, leprechaun,
Gargoyle.
gargoyle.
But that actually, because in Legends, and I'm a big fan of myths and legends. Cuthbert, you've seen my bit in the paper. Yes, you read
Oh,
a lot
yes.
of. Yes, I write a bit on myths and legends, and I'm surprised I haven't written about a ghoul before. But as Zeno filled me in, ghouls, they feast on like flesh. And what do we know so far about flesh? We know that Silas was looking into cannibalism and stuff like that. And we also know there are two bodies unaccounted for. One that was burnt early, and one we are not sure is actually in a coffin.
Yeah.
And we've
Or
got a man who is possibly, we'll call him a cannibal just for you long, or I won't go around calling him a ghoul, I won't be, but a cannibal running a funeral parlor, possibly, because I did not see what Zeno saw, so I waited in the car.
You're starting to sound like some of that Edward Pickman Derby poetry.
Yes, maybe it
A
is.
cannibal running a funeral home.
well, I'm sure there's a good explanation of it. I mean, that's what the Tuesday Night Club Academy is all about, is to look into oddities and find a rational scientific explanation. Perhaps, maybe this individual does eat or do something unsavory with these corpses, and
Yes.
it could be interpreted by
Well,
some.
he did not like us asking about Baxter at all.
And the
And
problem
Silas
is,
didn't either. Not that we were the most, I say, professional about it ourselves, but
the problem with this, though, yes, I think in this case, unprofessionalism is okay if this is true. But the fact is, we know that Silas was looking into this, and we now I suspect, and Zeno suspects, that this man is eating corpses, possibly, or whatever. Or whatever, he might not be. It could be a whole misunderstanding. Zeno could have been seeing. It could have just been affecting him, and he just saw what he wanted to see. Who knows? But just
well,
what if he is?
Zeno's assertions I'm skeptical, you must understand. But I
Yes.
mean, Mr. Dexter's discussions of his visions, he doesn't strike me as a superstitious type. This is all.
We need to look into Silas.
I've been reading
more.
too much of that poetry.
Now, didn't one of you mention you have a friend that's a detective, correct?
Yes.
Detective, and I have a reporter friend.
Could they look down the route of seeing if there's any other stories or complaints about missing bodies or things from Alvin's funeral home?
Well, I would think that your reporter friend would have found all of that.
Oh.
Wouldn't they?
Yes,
that's what they were looking into. That's where they uncovered the one story. And I mean, this is what my friend Benning does for his living. I couldn't, in good conscience, keep asking him for favors without paying him.
Higher.
Sure that's what we. Now, of course, it is through his efforts that we know that Silas he acquired some farm property recently north of the city, but he's currently out of town. But he didn't go towards his farm property; he went south.
He has property, extra property.
Yes,
well,
apparently he's no longer with Brown.
And that explains his absence.
Or for health reasons, is what was stated.
Would paying his farm a visit, he's not there, but surely there'd be some people working there. Surely, if
this
it's
is something. Well, we're not entirely
it could be a
sure.
running farm.
I haven't gone up there. Bennings didn't go up there.
It's something to add to the to the board of whatever.
Yes, his behavior is a little interesting. I mean, I guess this whole new cannibalism angle
It's,
is
I'm not-
interesting to think about.
yes, I'm
That's
not
for
saying
sure.
it's true. I'm just saying I don't fully believe it, but I'm more open to the ideas of Zeno, so I am open to the fact that this could be real. And I would rather treat it as if it is real and be wrong than treat it as if it's not happening and then it's actually happening and it's right, and we've let more innocent people suffer, or innocent families suffer. The dead aren't really suffering after all, but
Well, I mean, if you're opening your mind to that kind of thinking, then you have to keep in mind that the visage of Baxter that Dexter saw seemed to be in quite a bit of distress and pain, even though he'd been dead for 2 days.
true, that is true. But so you're saying Silas is a farmhouse. We know that Silas has connection to Bestwick. So I feel like if we don't, we could either pay another visit to the funeral parlor and see if we can get a reaction or something. I don't know how.
That's, if I mean,
More of a reaction.
more of a reaction. I mean, what are you going to go in and do this time? You're going to go accuse him directly of being a cannibal? I mean,
No. Again, I don't have a proper cause to go there. I can't just go in spouting nonsense. He could just get the police involved, saying I'm a madman, and get me.
Right, and he saw. I mean, if he was looking out the window at you, as you mentioned,
we don't know that. We don't know that. I didn't see.
That was a.
Yes, we don't know that.
It was a cutscene.
That was a cutscene of a.
What are you on about, Frederick?
Something you should have noticed if you rolled better.
Frederick, can you see into the future?
Apparently, I'm seeing something. I guess this is what Zeno would call a vision of things that do not notice.
There's the farm. There's the farm, and then there's your observatory.
There's the observatory.
Yes. Have you guys come up with anything?
There's Silas's flat.
As you guys are kind of actively thinking about Silas Patterson, I'll let all three of you have an idea roll, since all three of you are uniquely positioned to kind of have this info.
Okay,
it's a regular pass.
Yes.
So it also dawns on you guys that that since Silas is a former professor at Brown, that Dr. Harold Englehart, who's one of the administrators of the university, he was also at the funeral. So you guys have seen him before, and clearly Cornelius and Zebedee know him well, and Long probably is knows of him through connections, but that Englehart probably knows the ins and outs on why Silas is no longer with the university.
That's right. Silas glared at Englehart at the funeral, I believe.
Yeah. Maybe we should pay him a visit then.
Yeah, Englehart with that glare might actually talk. Might actually be willing to cough up a little clue or two.
I would suggest maybe Long do the speaking, as he's a bit less likely to cause a disturbance and make up some lies. But we should go and find him.
All right, we'll lead the way.
Yes. Oh, yes. You don't know your way around here very well.
How's Zeno though? He sounded traumatized from what you heard. Shouldn't we check in on him?
He's gone to rest. What I will do is I'll ring his brother later and see how he's doing. But we'll wait till later.
We should also touch base with Dexter.
Yes.
Yeah, agreed. He probably has some information too. We need to keep all together and piece this together.
Should we check on Dexter now before we go and locate Englehart? It's up to you. It's up to
Oh,
you.
I mean,
Drew.
we're already here. Let's speak with Englehart first, but then
Okay.
go pay a visit to the bank. Their normal business hours should be over shortly anyway. Might be easier to get a hold of him.
Okay.
Then.
To Engelhart we go, and I lead the way.
All right. So you guys want to go and see Englehart in his office?
Yes.
Group luck roll. Who's got the lowest luck?
I have 50.
I have 60.
68.
Long it is. Shouldn't be too hard.
Well, you think that, but
You
with a
would think
95, it turns out it's
With
incredibly
these
difficult.
90s. These 90s, what the hell?
Nice.
Someone needs to add how many 90s we've had in this game.
In this session, I mean, it's been at least 4 or 5. Like over
7.
95. It's really bad.
So as you guys get to Englehart's office, the secretary is not at her desk. The door that goes into Englehart's office is open, and you can hear someone in there doing something.
I'll knock on the side of the door. Hello?
Okay. All right. Yeah. You knock on the side of the door, and you hear a young woman's voice going, "Yes. What? Hello. Hold on. I'll be right there. Hold on." And so the young woman, the secretary, is coming towards you, and she's got a towel, and she's also got like a stack of napkins, and they're all soaking wet with a brown liquid. And she goes over to a waste bin and is throwing them all into the waste bin. Yes. Hello. What's going? How may I help you?
Whoa, are you okay? What?
Oh,
what's that mess?
I'm fine. Dr. Engelhart just spilled his entire coffee on himself and is just left to go and change his clothes. He went back to his quarters. You guys know that Engelhart, being of this upper level faculty, has on-campus housing, so he doesn't actually live that far away. But she says, yeah, no, he just spilled coffee all over himself, and so I'm just trying to clean this mess up.
Damn, we really needed to speak to him.
Is it possible to get a meeting scheduled with his on his normal office hours?
Certainly. Well, hold on. Let me just take care of this. And she throws those, coffee-soaked napkins and that towel away, and starts getting herself readied. So she's like looking at her blotter, which has got the calendar and everything on it, and she's looking and says, "Okay. Let me see here." And she's flipping through a Rolodex, and she's like, "Okay." Yeah, so it looks like I could get you scheduled for a half-hour meeting. It'll be 2 weeks from Monday. Will that be all right?
2 weeks? Are you sure there's nothing sooner?
Yes.
Dr. Englehart's a very busy man. I'm so sorry.
Can I look in his office and see if he has I don't know, maybe we can get an idea of something that he might. Does he have like a favorite bottle of liquor that he has sitting in there? Maybe we could.
Well, yeah, 19. So there's no liquor on display in the university in 1927.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
none on display.
No cigar box or anything we can try to.
Maybe a new shirt and tie.
Surely you could fit something in sooner, surely. And then I kind of put the hand on the desk. I'm a little bit trying to.
So she does this. She goes. She does this. She says, "Let me look." And while looking at you dead in the eyes, she just draws her finger on the blotter and goes, "Nope. 2 weeks from Monday."
Damn it! It's the war that did it to me. Not the man I used to
Have
be.
you had me going there for a second? Good look.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Pencil me in. Why not? Dr. Frederick Long of Miskatonic University.
Oh, Dr. Long, certainly. And so she's writing you in on the blotter.
Out of game. Do we know where he lives exactly?
Yeah, I mean it's walking distance. He's just down that way. His house is just down that way.
So once we booked in and started walking off, if everyone is okay walking off, like maybe this.
Zebedee.
Yes. It seems unprofessional, but maybe we should disturb him at his. This is rather important.
Yeah, beats breaking and entering.
It's not like we're going to break in and knock out the poor man and interrogate him or anything. We just want to go. We're just going to
It's
go.
not
there.
outside the bounds of reality, though. I mean,
we're just gonna go there. We're gonna see if he doesn't want to speak to us. That is fine, but maybe I can use my charms, which sadly didn't work on his secretary there.
Yeah, please don't try your charms on Dr. Englehart. That's not what we...
It's been a while, okay? The war changes people. I'm not the young man I used to be.
Well,
Does change.
let's get in contact with Myron. And perhaps with Zeno, and then decide where to go from there.
Well, if you guys contact Myron, check on him, and I will contact Zeno. Well, probably his brother, if Zeno's still asleep, and I'll check on Zeno vehicle.
Perfect.
all right. So you guys are going to make those telephone calls.
Yes.
Okay. So you can go to like the student union and make calls from public phones there. All right, who's calling Myron?
I suppose I will.
Do you just get him up to speed on what y'all have just done?
Yes. So, yeah, the information that we've learned. Trying to see if Myron's done anything today, any further investigating, what his current thoughts are, given the update with the Zeno's strange experience with the funeral home.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to say about that. What I've learned is that Emmett's business partner is dead, that he's really testy kid when you ask him anything about the past. For a prospective client and a powerful individual in the community, he did not treat me very well. So there's something to dig up there. As far as Englehart's concerned and that 2 weeks thing, I'm on the board of trustees and I will lean on him. We'll see him Monday at the latest.
Okay, well, I greatly appreciate that.
That's very rude behavior indeed on his part. I'm not sure he knows what he's screwing around with. I couldn't get anything out of Braddock yet. Likewise, Stonewald. But he's a judge, not just some twerp professor.
That's true. It's very interesting that about everything with the past with Emmett. Even you're bringing up his law background, not just his dead partner. He very, very skittish indeed.
Yeah, the kid's got a lot to hide. Doesn't mean he did anything wrong. What a family, huh? I move that I'm going to have a couple people in and set up my front parlor as a place that we can all meet regularly, so that we don't have to worry about bank hours. And I think we should convene tomorrow at, I don't know, late morning. and make a regular habit of setting up a sort of command center there so we all have the same materials to look at and so on. I've been reading the screwy poetry.
It's odd, isn't it?
Yeah, it makes my eyes cross practically. I'm trying to correlate any words or phrases that match from the dream journal to the poems.
I flicked through that book you got from Father Julian. There was a couple of words there. If you have that with you, I think that might be a better comparison for the poetry.
Yeah, the doctor's got a hold of that, which might be why he's seeing ghosties around the corner. It's a screwy book, even looking through it for a minute.
I mean, the poetry's made me a little more inclined to think about these things, which I suppose that's the purpose of such fantastical texts. But
I admit too that the lawsuit about the missing not cremated girl is a little bit suggestive.
Yeah, it does incline thinking in a certain direction, that's for sure.
So your PI lost our mysterious friend Silas going away from his country house?
Away from his home here in Providence, his apartment.
With a packed bag.
With the packed bag. Heading south. His property is north of Providence, but he went somewhere south.
I really don't like the fact that everybody we want to talk to is leaving town.
Yes, it's a troubling trend.
All right, I'm gonna. If anything comes up, I'll. Where are you staying?
I'm staying at the Biltmore.
All right. And I take his room number. I'll be in touch there, and I give him my home number. It's probably a delightful like PY629. If you tell the other fellows, but I'm gonna expect you at my place, address here at 10-11 tomorrow.
Yes, that sounds reasonable. Thank you so much.
Very good.
Take care.
Zebedee, how's your phone call to Dr. Zeno?
Yes, I will ring. I don't know who will pick up though, but I will ring.
Greetings, fellow traveler and special person. The mystical Dr. Zeno is resting at the moment. This is Teddy Buns. Can I help you?
Teddy, it's Zebedee.
Oh, Zebedee.
Yes.
Oh, sorry about that. That's what he makes me say every time somebody calls.
Okay, that's fine.
What's up?
No, actually, it was.
What went on earlier? He's in his room crying.
Oh, well, you know about his experience, don't you? The cemetery experience.
Is that again?
Yes.
Did he get stuck in a graveyard?
No. The man who owns the local funeral parlor is possibly the same, well, not the same thing, but a similar being to what he saw that night. Anyway,
right.
I was just really ringing to see how he's doing. Is he okay? Is he still...
I think I don't hear him sobbing in there right now. I think he's probably finally fallen asleep. He stayed up all night reading a stupid book.
What book?
I got it right here. It says Book of Eibon.
Okay.
Eibon.
Yes, the Book of Eibon. Yes, I recall him mentioning that book.
Looks kind of old.
Tell Zeno when he awakens.
Yeah.
I will come and pick him up in the morning so we can regroup.
All right. Anything else?
No. Are you okay, Teddy?
You have your regular reading on Tuesday?
Yes. That's still. Maybe I might need to book in an extra reading just to get a few things off my mind.
Okay. All right. Say hi to everybody. Bye.
Yes, I would. Bye.
So as we begin to bring this chapter to a close, Frederick Long is at the Biltmore, and he's in his hotel room after supping, and is kind of calming down for the evening when his room phone rings.
This is Dr. Long.
Frederick, it's me, Bennings.
All right, Bennings.
Hey, I just heard through my connections. They just found Silas's car.
What?
Long. If the reports are to be believed, Silas Patterson is dead. And we'll bring it to a black. We'll fade to black there.
Our players included Morgan Llewellyn, Stuart Lively, Josh Harwood, David Gasaway, and myself, with John Hook as the keeper of the secrets. We have a Discord server where you can chat with our members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer art of gameplay and game mastery. There's a link below. We currently are producing up to 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. The costs involved in the show are provided almost entirely by our patrons. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. If you'd like to help support our show, visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month will help us a lot. You can find a link in the description below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.